Hey guys, Jonathan Neal here, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about consistency and how we really build a pattern of consistency when we might not have something like that. We might not have any kind of routine or anything that we really do for ourselves or for our health on a regular basis. And if you're trying to come from essentially zero, how do you get that started? Where do you find the motivation, and how can you get started? So the way I look at it is that there's basically 5 different elements that we're working with in our life. Our body, our universe are made up of these 5 elements, and they are, of course, air, water, we have earth, fire, and of course space, which is the element that contains all of these other elements. So if that's what our universe is made up of, then the idea is that those are the things that we really need to be giving ourselves on a daily basis in order to nourish our bodies and our minds and our soul. So what I've done is I've created just a really simple outline off of that of how you can get started taking care of yourself based upon these 5 elements. So the idea being that each day we set a goal that is very small, a small daily goal, but the idea being that it's small enough that it's something that we can commit to doing every single day. So even if it's just 1 or 2 of some exercise, it's enough that we can say like, well, I can commit to that, and then we just allow that to grow. So for me, I got this whiteboard that I leave in my room. I don't know how well you can read that, but I'll read it off to you. The idea being that first we start with our air and our breath, because really as a human being, the very first thing that we need, our primary necessity, is going to be breath. I mean, we can get by without water or food or any other things for quite some time compared to the couple minutes at the most you get without any air or breath. So our second element will be water, which is fairly self-explanatory. We're made primarily of water physically, and it makes up the primary consistency of the surface of our world as well. So water is a very important aspect. The next thing that we would need after water, of course, would be food. So we have that represented by the earth element, and then we have fire, which would be movement, which is our exercise or even some breath exercises. And then our final one, of course, would be space, which is represented by rest. So if we look at these 5 elements and we look at what we really need, we can really start to create a daily practice based off of these 5 elements that will nourish our body, nourish our mind, and nourish our soul. So here's what I've committed to, and I've been doing pretty good this year about getting all this done. And you don't need to do what I've done, and I don't suggest that you do. I just suggest you take this idea and this platform and make one for yourself that's, again, doable for you. Even if it's just 1 or 2 of something or whatever it is, make it small enough that you can say, yes, I will do that every day, and then just let it grow naturally from there. But I'll share with you my ideas and what I'm doing just in case that helps to give you some ideas. So for air and breath, I've written down that I'm sure that I'm going to do more than this, but every day I'm committed to take at least 5 conscious breaths. So that means that at some point every day I stop and just inhale and exhale slowly and consciously, paying attention to the feel of that breath. And that's it. Really simple. The second one is water, and I've just said I want to make sure I get an extra 16-ounce glass of water in each day. And that means that at some point during the day I consciously stop, pause, when I otherwise wouldn't already be drinking water, and go grab myself a 16-ounce glass of water and drink that. For number 3, for our earth, for food, to me it's very important that I make sure I get at least 1 serving of leafy greens in a day, and I know that I know that I need and I want my goal to be more than that, but this is what I'm committing to every day because I know I can do at least 1, and over time I'm sure that grows, and I've already seen that a little bit in my own life. So, but just start again with something, a pace that you can keep up, and then allow that to grow naturally. So, and that brings us down here to our fire and our movement. And I have 2 things here. I do a morning asana, a morning yoga asana practice, very light, just maybe a few poses, a couple breaths, but just enough to wake me up. Kind of like what you might see your dog or your cat do, just a few stretches, moving around, getting aware for the day. Also, I try to get in at least 3 minutes of plank variations, again, not necessarily for a workout, but partly workout, but mostly just to build some body awareness, just to check in with my alignment and my physical structure to see how it's doing today and see how it's doing each day. And then for space and rest, I've said just 3 minutes of silence. So at some point during each day, just to pause, even if it's just sitting in my car, just to close my eyes, nothing special, just 3 minutes of pure rest and silence. And the most important thing again is that you are able to do these things every day. So when you set this up for yourself, please make sure that you set your goals at a reasonable enough level that you really can, it really makes sense to you that you can do that every single day. I hope this is something that helps you. If you have any questions or any comments or any ideas, if you'd like to share what your 5 elemental decisions are going to be for this year, please do that in the comments below. If you like this kind of content and would like to see more, please feel free to subscribe. Again, my name is Jonathan Neal, and thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful night and a wonderful, wonderful year.